Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we are staying in the Mid-Michigan area. We're going to spend a lot of time right now with a good friend, Elaine Hardy, City of East Lansing's first Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Administrator, and also chair of the Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the commission which puts on the Martin Luther King event. And Elaine, it is wonderful to see you and to spend time with you. You have been one busy person.
We have. I credit the busyness to the full commission, and certainly the work that we do is the labor of love, and we're excited to be back in person at the Lansing Center after being out for 2 years. And so we're putting our toe back in the water. We were 2,000 strong prior to us having that horrible pandemic, and we're making our way back to that amount. But one of the probably bright spots of the pandemic is that we were able to take our day of celebration and broadcast it through our Mid-Michigan region. And so where we were reaching 2,000 people, we were over 25,000 with our broadcast. So we're excited about that, but we're really, really glad to be back in person.
Yeah, well, let's go there for the broadcast, because something interesting happened during that period of time. You guys won an Emmy Award.
We did. Can you believe that? As I was floored. First of all, I was floored that we were nominated, but secondly, I was it was our first time out, and it was for the category Best Historical Documentary. And we had interviewed Dr. Bernice King, the daughter of Dr. King. And I was very proud of that production. I was glad that we were able to pull something so special together for our community. And it was really, really the cherry on top to get an Emmy for it. It was pretty awesome.
It was, I tell you what, when people were experiencing down years, that's not a bad pick-me-up, winning an Emmy.
It is absolutely not.
Good for you. And it is huge, the event. As a matter of fact, probably the largest maybe in the United States.
We were, prior to the pandemic, the largest luncheon event honoring Dr. King in the nation. But you want to know something else? It also is, I think, important for us to note that we are the longest continuously operating commission in the country as well. Outside of, that place in Atlanta, right, the King Center, we were first organized to push for federal legislation for a King holiday. And once that legislation was signed by Ronald Reagan, a lot of commissions across the country disbanded because they had, reached the goal of a national holiday. But we didn't realize that we saw the value of still bringing the community together around the common cause and of brotherhood, and really to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. So for over 42 years, we have had a celebration in our community, which I think is remarkable, and it says so much about this Mid-Michigan community.
Well, and I have to say, as a guy who's attended most of them, that's exactly what happens. The community really does meet in big numbers, and the networking portion prior to the event is a really important part. Now, this year, Elaine, Fred D. Gray is going to headline your commission's Mid-Michigan 38th annual signature event. Tell me about Fred and what he's going to talk about.
So for those who don't know who Fred Gray is, you probably know this lady named Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks sat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, and sparked what we know as the Montgomery bus boycott. Well, the young attorney that defended Ms. Parks was a man named Fred Gray. He also was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s first attorney. And he's probably most widely cited now, Chris, for the work he did in representing the Tuskegee syphilis victims, right? So there was this experiment, you guys know the story. He represented that group. He's 92 years old, still goes into his office every single day, still takes civil rights cases. And I am just so excited that we are still able to bring our nation's treasures to us, those civil rights foot soldiers who had direct connections to Dr. King. So we're honored that he's going to be here and excited to hear from him.
It's interesting the way this community supports this event, and I guess I'm thinking about sponsorship, corporate, where you've got Cinnaire so involved, and Dean Transportation and people like that. Has that held up over the years?
Oh, absolutely. And only they have only doubled down. We've got, all of the major players in our region, and you talk about Mark McDaniel's leadership with Cinnaire and always being there to support the work of the commission. Things that we do locally and what we're involved in nationally with our History Keepers project. But yeah, we've got them. We've got Cinnaire and Jackson and MSU, FCU, Matthew, Lake Trust, Case Credit Union. They're all here, and we are so proud to be able to be in partnership with them for the work that we do.
Well, they do represent the entire community. Listen, as you look back over these 38 years, give me a highlight or two, and we've only got about 30 seconds left.
So every year, the highlight is seeing our community come together. That's what sustained us, right? This community's commitment to equity. That's the highlight every year.
Well, you do a tremendous job. You do a tremendous service for Mid-Michigan with that. And thank you so much. It's so good to see you, Elaine. And continued good luck with this coming up on the 16th, right?
Thank you so much. And I'll see you there.
You absolutely will. Elaine Hardy, the City of East Lansing's first Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Administrator, but coming up very soon, chair of the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission of Mid-Michigan. Thanks for spending time with us. You've been watching this Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.